This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Good afternoon, Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for November 25, 2022. And in the news this afternoon, police arrested after allegedly found with illegal gun at a checkpoint. A policeman was this morning taken into custody after allegedly being held with an illegal gun and ammunition at a checkpoint in St. Catherine. The weapon was reportedly found inside his car. It is reported that while at the checkpoint, the cop acted in a manner that aroused the suspicion of the security forces. He was questioned and his vehicle was searched, and the gun was allegedly found. He was then arrested. Assault rifles and over 100 rounds of ammo seized in St. Thomas. The Joint Anti-Gang Task Force on Thursday seized 3 guns and over 100 rounds of ammunition in Bull Bay, St. Thomas. It was reported that the recovery was made as the team was conducting an operation in the area to apprehend one of Jamaica's most wanted, Nesta Morrison, otherwise called the Bigger Crime. The operation yielded the seizure of 2 assault rifles, a 9mm pistol, and 108 assorted rounds of ammunition. According to the police, military paraphernalia, a large sum of counterfeit United States cash, and other contraband were also seized. Anyone knowing the whereabouts of Nesta Bigger Crime Morrison or any other gang members are asked to contact the nearest police station, Police 119 emergency number, or Crime Stop at 311. Man killed in hit-and-run crash in Clarendon. Police are probing a hit-and-run crash which killed a man who was walking home from a wake in Riches near the Manchester-Clarendon border town of Spalding on Friday morning. He has so far only been identified by his alias Parrot. Preliminary reports are that about 4:30 a.m., the Spalding police were patrolling the area when they stumbled on the man's body on the roadway. During an examination of the scene, detectives found pieces of a broken headlight. The man was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. 31-year-old woman reported missing in St. Andrew. 31-year-old Chelsea Allen of Linders Road, St. Andrew, has been missing since Saturday, November 19. She is of brown complexion, slim build, and about 157 centimeters or 5 feet 2 inches tall. She also has tattoos on her shoulder, foot, and hand. Reports from the Halfway Tree police are that Allen left home without disclosing her destination and has not been seen since. Her mode of dress at the time she went missing is unknown. All efforts to contact her since then have proven unsuccessful. Anyone knowing the whereabouts of Chelsea Allen is asked to contact the Halfway Tree police at 876-926-8185, the Police 119 number, or the nearest police station. This barred Jamaica-born lawyer could face a prison time in the U.S. A Jamaica-born New York-based attorney who was recently disbarred for professional misconduct could face up to 15 years in prison if convicted in connection with the alleged misappropriation of her elderly client's fund. The New York Grievance Committee for the Second Judicial Department, Chief Counsel Diana Maxfield-Curse, revealed that Audrey Thomas was no longer a licensed attorney as of November 9. Thomas has at least 3 charges of professional misconduct filed against her. Court documents published last week Tuesday showed that Thomas of Queens was disbarred at the conclusion of a disciplinary hearing where it was alleged that she misappropriated US $630,000 in escrow funds from Rhea Murray, an elderly client. Murray had hired Thomas to oversee the sale of her Brooklyn apartment in 2013. Thomas, who is also the author of the book Ego Has No Place in the Law, in her defense, claimed that she had Murray's permission to take the money. Thomas would reportedly use it to promote herself as an author and radio show host. Murray's daughters confronted Thomas about the missing cash in 2016, at which point the attorney promised to repay the money over several months. Disciplinary proceedings against Thomas began in 2018 after she defaulted on the payment plan. The Queens District Attorney's Office subsequently took Thomas into custody in July 2019 on second-degree larceny charges. She pleaded not guilty and is awaiting trial where if convicted, she faces up to 15 years in prison. She has reportedly denied the allegations against her. Lawyers for Gabrielle King's mother to challenge a phone access decision. Lawyers representing the mother of 9-year-old Gabrielle King are to apply to the Supreme Court for judicial review of the judge's decision instructing her to give investigators access to her cellular phone. Amoy Leon Issa's attorney, Chukwu Cameron, told the news that he has been instructed by his client to challenge Senior Parish Judge Sasha Marie Ashley's decision handed down last week in the St. James Parish Court. Ms. Issa was told to provide access to her phone by or before November 24 as part of the probe into the January 13 murder of her son. The judge rejected Mr. Cameron's request for his client to be present during the police access to the phone and the extraction of any data. But she granted a request for any legal representative of Ms. Issa and a third-party computer technician to be present for the extraction as observers only, on condition that they do not attempt to direct what information may be extracted by the police. Gabrielle King was reportedly abducted from his mother along the Tucker Main Road in St. James. He was later found dead in his mother's vehicle, which was abandoned off Fairfield Main Road in Montego Bay. The mother had told investigators that she was attempting to navigate a pothole when armed thugs hijacked her vehicle and sped off with her child. Fingerprint Act to be amended. The government has announced the plans to announce the Fingerprint Act, which will have far-reaching implications for Jamaicans in the taking of their prints and photographs. Prime Minister Andrew Holness made the disclosure in Parliament on Tuesday as part of the measures he says were being implemented to deal with the crime. The Fingerprint Act allows certain categories of people to take prints and photographs of people in custody with or without their consent once certain criteria are met. This includes specific offenses named in the Act. But Mr. Holness explained that the category of persons authorized to take the prints and the list of offenses need to be expanded. He suggested that questions may arise about the rights of individuals, but said he believes a balance is needed. He said the changes to the Act will expand the offenses schedule, the groups authorized to take fingerprints, as well as extend the time for the retention of fingerprints. It will also allow for the use of approved modern technology to electronically take prints and store the data.
And this will be done to expand powers to the courts to order the taking of fingerprints and photographs for several offenses which were not covered under the old Fingerprint Act, to expand the offenses schedule, to expand the groups authorized to take fingerprints, to extend the time for the retention of fingerprints, and to provide for the use of approved modern technology for electronic taking of the fingerprint and for the storage of the data. We can't only be looking to protect the right to privacy of someone who could be a criminal or may not be, but we also have to balance to make sure that that person does not escape the control of the law to go and kill someone. That's our duty. Currently, it is easier to get a DNA sample than it is to get a fingerprint. The Act is old and outdated. It doesn't contemplate the new technologies that exist. So we're bringing that Act immediately. The Minister of National Security has been charged to, amendments and suggestions to change it has already been discussed, but you're now going to bring it to the House to have a new Act tabled.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.